Yo, 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 welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Latch-Key Dads, the freaky freshest side of the podcasting.
It's happening. It's happening right now. We've been taken over.
Oh, no.
By ADAM.
Yo, yo, you heard it here.
Hey, Greg, what's happening?
Not much, Tim. How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Who's this joker here?
Well, it seems like Studio C might have been invaded a little bit by one of our very good friends, Adam.
Not invaded, upgraded. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So Thanks for having me on. It only took 120 episodes. That's fine. We just met 10 years ago. So I'm not offended at all. So.
Well, we were trying to, get to that balance of being offended versus feeling like we asked you too early. And I feel like we landed right in the tastiest bacon part of when we could invite you.
You wanted to keep me waiting until I thought it was never going to happen, and then
yes,
exactly.
Yes.
You needed to feel grateful for coming in, right?
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate it.
No, man, thanks for coming on the show. It's great.
I'm happy to be here.
This is awesome.
I particularly have strong feelings about candy, so I am very glad that this is the one we're talking about.
Excellent.
Because if it was like November 1988, I'd be like, I was in kindergarten. So yeah.
Yeah, you're a little bit younger than us,
I am
right?
a little bit younger.
You're more.
I was born in 83.
Yeah, so you're on that cusp of a millennial.
So once upon a time, a friend of mine posted a blog post that said that my generation, like 82 to 84, we are the Oregon Trail generation.
Oh,
we're
nice.
our own little sub-generation
Sure.
because we grew up as teenagers. Like we had a teenagehood pre-internet, but like America Online was just coming out. They were blitzing the world with CDs.
Yeah, remember? Yeah.
My dad had gotten a computer, and I was the only person in my friend group that had a computer for a while, and then I was the first person to have AOL.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So I'm very Oregon Trail generation. Right. So because I still talk to people on the phone.
Yeah.
And
you're not just texting and yeah.
It's not an emergency if you get a phone call. You're not like
exactly.
My kids, if the phone rings, they're like, "What is happening?"
If I have to answer and talk to a stranger, like I can order a pizza and I don't sweat hardly at all. So
that's awesome. I do want to talk about Oregon Trail now all of a sudden, but we'll set that aside. We'll set it. So unless you want to.
So I did not play Oregon Trail because my school did not have it. But years and years ago, the hospital that I work for was rolling out a new system called Epic.
Oh yeah.
And everybody, all 15,000 employees, had to be trained in Epic, and so my entire unit was like divided into two groups, and so Epic training for me was very slow and tedious because I am of the Oregon Trail generation, and there was people from the greatest generation that were in the same room, and so we were moving along at that pace, and I found my way to the Internet Archive, the Library of Congress server, because apparently the internet software from the company didn't block that. They blocked everything interesting, but I found my way to that, and I played Oregon Trail on like that. That was the first time because I'd heard so much about it.
Yeah.
So funny.
And then I foolishly named my 3 children after my 3 actual children because I'm dumb. And one of them drowned in the river. One of them, nobody died of dysentery.
Oh, okay.
I think somebody, I don't remember, it was a snake bite or something. I lost 2 of the kids, but we kept 1. So
33%.
And I got trained on Epic. So
all at the same time. Nice.
All at the same time.
And no dysentery. No dysentery. Win.
That's right. Hey.
Well, I think that brings us right up to our topic. I think that was a great segue.
I mean,
not at all abrupt.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Oregon Trail, Halloween. It just flows. Yeah.
So, Greg, you want to share with our audience what we're going to do today?
So we had so much fun with the NCAA bracket earlier this year with the 80s cars and vehicles that we thought, with Halloween coming up right around the corner, why not do a NCAA bracket for candy that you get when you're trick-or-treating?
Absolutely.
And so the goal here is to decide on the ultimate candy that you would get going door to door.
Now, do the 3 of us have to agree? Is this a consensus model? of governance?
We go by majority, and since there are 3 of us, 2 candies up against each other in each one of the
that's why I'm
games,
here.
if we want to call it. Yeah,
that's why I'm here.
There'll be the deciding vote will sometimes fall on you.
All right.
Or it depends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we did was we created an East-West bracket. We doubled the bracket was so successful last time that we doubled it, and now we've got 68. I think 16. I'm trying to do my math. 32. We've got 32 categories here. 16 chocolate and
16 of everything else. All the other sugars.
Non-chocolate.
Non-chocolate. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a valid division because whenever my kids come back from trick or treat, it's like all the chocolate goes in one pile.
Yes.
Non-chocolate goes in another.
Yeah. And those idiots that give you pennies, you just you push into the final third pile, right?
So they've never gotten a penny. However, the neighborhood that we've gone trick or treating forever, there was for several years there was this sweet old lady that made cupcakes herself, and she put them in like individual. Not
That's
even
so
Ziploc
sweet.
bags that were like those old school fold over bags.
Oh yeah,
that like we all hated when we were kids, and you can't. I don't even think you can buy them anymore. But she gave out cupcakes. She even had her return address label on each cupcake, so like there was accountability.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's sweet. That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
And I'm sure being in the bottom of a bag for the better part of an hour or two, just jostling with
up.
all the other candy, it was in
That's a fair
pristine
point.
condition.
I'm pretty sure we just ate the cupcakes right away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
That was smart. I would have thrown it in my bag and then gotten home and been like, why is all my candy covered in icing?
for reals.
But I forgot all about those fold over Ziploc.
They
Not
were
Zip, whatever.
useless.
They were horrible.
They were
Nothing
useless.
stayed in them.
Like
It
there
was
was literally no point.
Might as well just throw it in a brown paper bag and be done with it.
Yeah.
It was early technology. They were still figuring it out. You know. We could zipper it closed, or what if we
Okay, so
fold it
now
over?
if we're talking about bag closing procedures.
Yeah.
Okay, you are eating a bag of potato chips. Let's say you've consumed, not you, you and other people have consumed half of the bag of potato chips.
Right.
What is the potato chip bag closing procedure that you use?
When I was single, I would just throw it the way it was in the in the pantry.
Now
Now
that I'm closed, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't care. Now that I'm married, I carefully fold it over and put a specifically designated bag clip on it.
chip.
Yeah, clip chip.
Chip clip.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Tim?
I have a similar technique, which is the fold over, fold over, fold over. And we use wooden clothespins. We have a little cup with about 20 to 25 clothespins. Yeah.
I love that.
And then I have a thing where if the bag has gotten too empty and you really got to reach in there and you're getting grease covered, I will take the kitchen scissors and cut the bag to about half. So there's still enough to do the roll and the clip for freshness.
I felt so smart the day that I first did that.
Yeah.
Cutting all that excess bag off.
Yeah.
I think you guys are too bougie for me.
Well, Latch-Key Dads, we got to bring knowledge to our, our audience.
I'm here to level up.
That's a free upgrade right there. Bag cutting. And true to how we do this podcast, this is a fantastic tangent we've been on. What other bags can we talk about?
We're here to talk about candy and closure
I like
closure of bags.
Yeah, that's
Well,
a good word.
here's a question for you. What did you use when you went trick or treating? Did you have like a bag you used every year that was like trick or treat with a pumpkin face on it? What did you use when you went door to door?
Our guest, Adam. How about you?
I'm about to Debbie Downer this game.
Uh-oh.
Okay, because we were talking about, so I grew up super sheltered and
That's right,
conservative. The satanic panic was very real in my household. I was not allowed to watch anything with magic. No gummy bears, no David the Gnome. Disney movies were tolerated simply because of their cultural momentum. Star Wars was fine, even though I feel like one could argue the theology in Star Wars was way more like disruptive than like gummy bears.
Right.
But anyway, so trick-or-treating, in the words of Monty Python, was right out. So I did not trick-or-treat at all as a kid. And then one year I was like 14, 15. I was too old to trick-or-treat, but I was home and I was looking out the window and all the kids were trick-or-treating. I was like, F this.
Good for you.
And little goody two-shoes Adam decided that he was going to go trick-or-treating, snuck out of the house.
Awesome.
And I think I just grabbed a Linco bag on my way out.
Okay.
And I'm like walking from house to house, and I see this one neighbor who dislikes my family because her daughter and my sister were friends and they had some sort of falling out and she did not like us. And so she saw me and she was like, Adam, I thought you guys didn't trick or treat. And I think I got like maybe one Mr. Goodbar in my bag before she did that and just totally took a dump in my punch bowl. And I'm like, well, now she's going to tell I was convinced she was going to tell my mom.
Yeah.
And so then I went back home.
Do you know where she lives? We can go egg her house right now.
Yeah, her name is Brenda, and I hate her.
Let's go egg her house. I'm okay with that.
Let's do it. She deserves it.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
So I don't have a cool bag.
Okay.
Tim, did you have a cool bag?
Laneco bag was
A Laneco bag.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. When I was really little, we had it was like it must have been produced by one of the grocery stores or something. It was a plastic bag that had like graphics like pre-printed on it I think it was an orange bag with like black kids trick-or-treating like printed on it or something.
Yeah.
And I feel like for years we had those and they would like get folded up and put in with the Halloween costumes.
Closure at the top that like snapped together.
No, but I think they had like
the handle?
pre-cut handle in it that you could hold.
Okay.
And then when I got older and I went with my friends, like we'd just show up at his house. We'd all have like 6 different, masks. We'd put a bunch of them in a pillowcase. We'd go to one house, get candy, go through the entire neighborhood, put another mask on, go through the neighborhood again, because we were all about volume.
Nice.
I'm here for that. Did you have a special bag?
We learned when we were little, we used to go like stupid plastic bags that would break or fill up way too quickly. So we found the trick. We thought it was so cool. We used pillowcases.
Yeah.
When we were little.
Oh,
yeah. And they're big. They're sturdy. They would never break.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing worse than when you were real little and when your bag would break.
Yeah.
And all your candy would fall out, or there would be a little hole and you didn't notice it, and you'd like walk halfway down the street and you look in and you're like, where the hell's my candy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we shifted to the
That's a
pillowcase.
good idea.
Yeah.
I do think there were a few years though where we actually had the pumpkin. It was
Yeah,
the
the
plastic
pumpkin.
with the little black
Yep.
piece of plastic handle.
Which filled up so quickly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although where I grew up, it was farm country. So we would walk about 4 miles to get like 3 pieces of candy.
Both ways.
Yeah. And then when I got older and I went to my neighbor's or my friend's house who lived in a neighborhood, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these houses are so close together.
So easy.
This is fantastic.
Tim's like a salt lick. Oh,
Yeah. An apple, joy, popcorn, fantastic.
Gardening gloves. Perfect.
Could I get some rocks, please?
just gonna throw them at somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, the bag was. I think once we got to the pillowcase, that was pretty much the cat's
Standard.
pajamas. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. Well, I think we've delayed long enough.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
we
need
should
to
talk
get-
candy. What do you think, Adam? You want to talk candy?
All
Yeah.
right.
I would
Let's talk
assume,
about
even
candy.
though you didn't have much experience trick or treating, you are a candy aficionado now.
I had lots of
right?
experience with candy.
Since then, yeah.
There was no satanic panic around candy.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So that was good.
All right.
So real quick, because I want to delay a little longer. Did you guys do trunk or treat with your kids when they were little?
I freaking hate trunk or treat.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an analogy that's not super crass, but
I didn't mind it so much. I thought it was kind of cute.
I feel like it takes all the fun out of it.
It's so
like-
controlled. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you walk 4 feet from one person's, gate of their, SUV, and it's so controlled. Yeah. But when the 1 or 2 times we did it, our kids were so little. I think
For
Jack was
3-year-olds,
Yoda.
preschoolers, sure.
He could barely walk, and he was just walking around going, "Ooh," It was good then, but yeah, it's a very small window in my opinion.
I don't think it should take the place of trick or treating, but it's a good activity to do because a lot of them aren't on Halloween; they're like around Halloween. So
Yeah.
And when you're looking at volume, how much sugar can I mash into my 2 or 3-year-old? It's a good opportunity to get a little extra. So
Yeah.
Okay, I will give trunk or treat this because people will like decorate their trunk in super cool ways,
Yes.
and like they'll get in costumes, and they get into it in ways that a lot of people don't when they're just regular trick or treating.
Yep.
So that is kind of cool.
There's like little games of chance sometimes. Like
Yeah.
they'll set up a Nerf, like you shoot the zombie or
I feel like people feel the need to compensate for the fact that like it's at a different venue and it feels so stripped down. Yeah. But the fact that they're all just like right next to each other is the part that really, like, I don't know. It feels like getting a new game and then getting cheat codes immediately. You know.
Yep.
Okay, I've got an idea. We're gonna go to like a cornfield, and everyone just drives their car into the corn in any direction, and then the kids have to do like a corn maze to get to the trunks.
Follow the
until one of us runs into somebody else.
Yeah, the farmers won't mind at all.
No.
People are just driving through their crops. Yeah. All right, so I think I've delayed long enough.
All right,
let's begin.
Let's do it. Dun 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 dun.
All right, here we go. We are into the bracket. This is going to be the chocolate division of the East and West. Up first, we've got the number 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Cup against the number 8 seed, the 100 grand. Adam, what's your preference?
Are you kidding me? This just feels, this feels like putting somebody good against the Miami Dolphins or something. Like, I don't speak sports ball, but even I know, like, you don't want to be the Dolphins. Yeah, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are amazing, and everybody loves them. You can freeze them, and they get even better. You can put them in a s'more, and they're incredible. 100 grands are hard to find. They're not amazing. They don't get super cool when you freeze them, and there's no peanut butter in them.
So your vote then is for the 100 grand?
Emphatically Peanut Butter Cups, for sure.
Interesting. See, I'm going to have to agree with you. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are absolutely, absolutely amazing. But I really do like 100 grand. I can't vote for them over, but they are the 8th seed. There's no way they're going to bump off the amazing Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, especially the peanut butter pumpkins, where it has like that freaking peanut butter in it. Yeah. So I'm going to go along with Adam here and go with the Peanut Butter Cup.
Well, we're at that point where it's a foregone conclusion that the peanut butter cups will be advancing.
About your vote now.
I'm gonna just say that because my daughter has a peanut allergy, peanut butter cups have fallen down a little bit in the rankings around here. But because of that, when we get them, she still gets them when she goes trick or treating. I get this massive collection of them that then go into my toolbox in the garage, and for months I'll be eating peanut butter cups secretly like a rat in the garage. So yeah, I will.
I feel like it's also worth noting the commercials for peanut butter cups when I was a kid were really good.
Yeah,
like the Halloween ones especially.
They were.
Like there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Yes,
and then the biggest one I remember was you never even saw the vampire, but it was spooky and like there were bats. And then we'd hear this sucking sound and he'd say, "I like to eat the peanut butter first." And then there were just these 2 fang marks in the peanut butter cup.
I remember that. Yeah. Now I'll go even old school. Do you remember when they first did that commercial? Like, you got your chocolate in my peanut butter. You got your peanut butter in my chocolate. No. That was like the first like major commercial for Reese's Pieces. Or peanut butter cups. Yeah. That's a little bit older. Yeah.
And then the newest one, they've got Will Arnett, where he just goes, Reese's, 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 Reese's. This is working. I'm so good at Reese's. Ooh, who wants a Reese? Like, he just keeps saying Reese's over and over again. I'm like, it's so Will Arnett to just be.
He does have such a great voice, though. Yeah. So I feel like he needs to do a lot more voice acting than he does. He was so good he was in Lego. He was Batman in the Lego movies.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Yeah. I just recently had my kids watch the first episode of Arrested Development. And,
okay.
And so then they were like, "Hey, wait a minute. I think I know this guy." And we're a little bit of voice actor nerds in our family. Not much, but like there are my kids like know the name of the guy that does Optimus Prime. I don't know his name, but it's only been one guy forever now.
Yeah, it's wild.
Somebody is screaming his name at the speaker right now. I can feel it through the potosphere. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I forget what it is now. Yeah. I should know it.
We should, but we don't, and that's okay.
That's all right.
We'll maybe report card it, and we've gotten bad at doing the report card. So
that's true. This does feel like a good follow-up one.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. All right, back to the chocolates.
We've got the number 3 seed Snickers up against the number 6 seed Butterfinger, and given the love for peanut butter, this might be an upset here. We'll go to Tim first.
This is a tough one because I'm a huge fan of both of these. Now, in college, I had like a fake band that I was in because I always wanted to be in a band, right? And so I joked with my girlfriend that I was in a band. She knew I was just joking, but I said the band's name was Utterfin because in the moment I'd just eaten a Butterfinger and the wrapper had got torn and all you could see was Utterfin from the wrapper.
That's a good
so
name.
she made me an iron-on T-shirt of this character and then Utterfin, like a concert shirt. So all that has nothing to do with whether or not I like Butterfinger over Snickers, but I'm going to go with Butterfinger.
I mean, marketing pros would tell you that is very relevant to your feelings about Butterfinger. Yeah.
Also, I'd love it in a Dairy Queen Blizzard. Oh. The Dairy Queen Blizzard with Butterfinger.
Yeah.
That is the best use of a Butterfinger.
Pretty fantastic, yeah. It does stick in your teeth, but I don't mind.
Yeah.
That's true. I went first last time.
Okay. Well, no, you go.
I'm the guest. I should just be told what to do.
Just go ahead.
I like Snickers, definitely. I mean, Butterfingers are good, but Snickers, they really do satisfy.
Yeah.
They really do.
Okay.
I also am noticing I like to freeze almost all of my, like I'm looking at this list of candy and I'm like, these are all better frozen. No, yeah, I would definitely say I'd rather eat a Snickers than a Butterfinger.
You know, we'll think about the advertising, as you just mentioned. Snickers has some pretty good commercials, like "You're Not Yourself" when you're hungry, and then they have them eat the thing. And then, of course, Butterfinger has the Bart Simpson. Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger, right? But that being said, I don't understand the big deal about Snickers. Everybody talks about Snickers are so great. I gotta go with Butterfinger.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit of an upset that we
That
both
is a
went
bit of
Butterfinger.
I would say that
But
is an
on
upset.
brand with Greg and I that we usually end up arriving at the same place. Yeah. Now, I will say Snickers did kind of a fun thing over the last years with, they continue to make the Halloween candy smaller and smaller and smaller, where it's not the fun size anymore. It's just the, it's like a mint when you're leaving a restaurant. It's so teeny tiny, but they put the letters on it so you can spell out Snickers, and it's just kind of fun. It's not enough candy, but I spelled out the word Snickers with.
It feels like one of those New York Times games. Like, how many words can you make from the letters in Snickers?
Yeah, it's the new Wordle. Yeah, it'd be like
Snickle. Something.
Yeah. All right, so we got a little upset there with the number 3 Snickers getting knocked off by Butterfinger.
I'm sorry, Snickers. I did what I could for you.
It won't be the last upset. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah. All right, I'll brace myself. This is, in fact, my first rodeo.
Yeah.
This is. I don't believe I've ever been this vested in a bracket before.
Well, there's a lot of money riding on it, so
Vegas has got some crazy odds. I'm not going to tell you, but because we might impact it. But.
Exactly. Yeah. So next up, we have the number 4 M&Ms up against the number 5 Milky Way. Those are some tough choices right there.
That's a tough. I'll go first. I don't mind. I love M&Ms, but I got a soft spot for a Milky Way. The caramel and the nougat. It's perfect. It really is. So, and if it had said peanut butter M&Ms, maybe I would have gone to because peanut butter M&Ms are like ridiculous.
Oh yeah, they're their own.
Yeah, they're stratosphere.
We could do a bracket just of M&Ms.
Yeah, we could.
Oh my god, a bracket of Oreos.
But for a little while there, they made coconut M&Ms.
Yeah.
They were amazing, and they don't make them anymore. I was very upset when they discontinued.
I'm sure they're on eBay for like $18 a bag now.
Exactly.
But check the Dollar General. They have got old candy.
So yeah, my vote is for Milky Way.
I'm gonna go with Milky Way as well. I do love Milky Way Midnight. That is arguably my favorite candy bar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a special spot for M&Ms though. They are my favorite thing to get when I go to a movie because I can just eat them one at a time. And I stretch that out. I can make a box of M&Ms last like a whole movie. I will put it in my mouth until the candy is the shell is like mostly melted. Oh, but and then I will angle it in a north-south orientation, and I will use my incisors to chisel the shell into a top half and a bottom half. I will separate it with my tongue, and then I will like eat the chocolate and then have the empty shell. This is a lengthy ordeal, but I can make those 100 M&Ms in the box last like
the whole,
at the very least until Rose says I'll never let go. So.
And I'll create an infographic to describe this whole process for our audience so they can follow your instructional tips on how to eat M&Ms properly. But that's wild.
It's only crazy if you make it crazy.
Exactly.
It's crazy. That's awesome.
So again, you guys have pretty much settled this one. I'll agree with everything you guys said, though. Huge fan of M&Ms. There's actually a jar that is nearly empty on the side of my desk in the room we are currently in that is usually filled to the brim with M&Ms. And but yeah, Milky Way, the caramel, the nougat, the chocolate. It's pretty
so
awesome.
Good. Yeah.
And
It's
I feel
so
like
smooth.
Yeah.
So smooth.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was a kid, we would get our candy, and my brother and I would lay it out on the table and go through it all. Like they were like, "I'll trade you anything, but not my Milky Ways."
Yes.
on trick or treat night, and my kids separate all the candies. Milky Ways are one of the things that I eyeball the most.
Yeah.
Now, do you have the parent tax?
For sure.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
10%.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
I do. There's a M&M's quote from The Office when Michael and Holly, I think if I had to guess, I think the episode is called Valentine's Day. Oh my God, I hope I'm wrong. It's called PDA. It is called PDA. Michael and Holly are like newly in love and like all over each other. And Michael is standing near Kevin Holly is standing near Kevin, and she's like, "Oh, he's just so sexy. Like everything he does, I just like can't keep my hands off of him." And Kevin goes, "Now you know how I feel looking at those M&Ms all day." I just love it, and I'll use that line now and then.
That's fantastic.
All right, our last matchup in our Eastern Chocolate Division. I think this one might be difficult. We'll find out. The number 2 Kit Kat versus the number 7 Almond Joy. Tim, you want to go first on this one?
I'll go first on this. And I feel like this is a case of where when I was a kid, Kit Kats were awesome. But I feel like they've changed the formula as we've gotten older. And the chocolate has gotten like the chocolate you would get from like the school, sell a bunch of stuff and get some chocolate. And the chocolate was bad. It was like waxy, kind of not great. I feel like Kit Kats have sort of fallen into that, where the chocolate is not as good. And so I never liked Almond Joy as a kid. I was always like, if I got an Almond Joy or a Mounds, I was like, whoever wants it, you can have it. But now I kind of like a Mounds or an Almond Joy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the lower seed on this. I'm going Almond Joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, I'm going with Almond Joys as well, very hesitantly. I do love me a Kit Kat.
Yeah.
But I love coconut, and there are not, it's like Almond Joy and Mounds are the only candies I can think of that have coconut. So, no, Almond Joy.
Clean sweep. I love me some Almond Joys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's that upset you were
That's
talking
it,
about.
yeah.
7 seed taking out the number 2.
you would think Kit Kat would win without a problem, but that coconut, man.
That coconut, that'll do it. I'm such a sucker for shampoos that smell like coconut. Like when I was a kid and like I'd go get my hair cut. I feel like that fancy shampoo always smelled like coconut.
I'll take a mixed drink, pina colada.
For sure.
It's got coconut in it. Bring it over here. All right.
So should we jump over to the other candies? Do that side?
Yeah, let's do
okay.
let's not do, is that, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the number 1 seed on just the candy division, not chocolate, but candy, in the East and West, we've got number 1 seed Nerds up against the number 8 candy corn. Adam, any feelings on both of those?
Okay, so candy corn is strangely addictive, and candy corn can brag in a way that no other candy can because it doubles as a decorative element. You know, your grandmother doesn't have a dish of Nerds
That's true.
sitting out.
That's true.
She never
They're just
will.
sitting on the couch.
But candy corn, you know, it's festive, it's decorative, it's unique to that season, and like you eat one and then you're like, I need to have another. So I would actually go with candy corn, believe it or not.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and I'm going to say candy corn's disgusting. And it like, I'll eat it because it's good.
It's there.
But
you're at your grandma's.
Yeah. And you eat like 3 of them and all of a sudden you're like, oh, my stomach, I shouldn't have done that. Just because it's so much sugar. And then you get so tempted you eat the pumpkin That's like six.
Same thing, just bigger.
Just bigger. So now I got to go with Nerds. I ate them as a little kid and I love them, and yeah, they're probably one of my all-time favorites. So Nerds has got to be for me.
Well, I just had the unique experience of my kids love Nerds clusters, which is like the gummy version with Nerds stuck to the outside. I never had them before, and just last night we had like a movie night, and so my son got some for our daughter, and they were just on the coffee table. I'm like, I'm just gonna try these. I've never had them. Oh man,
yeah.
I think I have a new addiction. Those things are like mainlining sugar, but they're really good.
All right.
I think diabetes is right around the corner. But anyway, I'm gonna have to agree. Nerds for me is better than cotton candy.
Have you guys had Nerds ropes? Because I feel like it's clusters.
I think they just take the rope and they cut it into little pieces and call it clusters. But I think it's basically the same thing. Yeah,
that does sound tasty.
Yeah,
like gummy and Nerds at the same time.
All at the same time.
Yeah. And some coconut.
Coconut flavored Nerds.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. So
magic is happening right now. There's some synergy, some paradigm shifts.
Willy Wonka's listening in.
That's it.
Awesome.
All right, Nerds easily, well, not easily, but handles the candy corn threat. Up next, we have, I think this is an all-time classic, but number 3 seed Smarties against the number 6 seed Sour Patch Kids. Adam, you want to go first on this one?
This is no competition. The Sour Patch Kids are terrific.
Wow.
I would say. I mean, I feel like Sour Patch Kids are sort of universally loved.
Okay.
And Smarties, like, they have an interesting form factor. You can stack them and like treat them like a hockey puck on your desk when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But I've never once been in an aisle and been like, I think I want some Smarties.
Okay.
I have had that thought many times about Sour Patch Kids.
I will say that I don't like sour candy. So I don't like Sour Patch Kids, and I usually don't like gummy stuff either. So yeah, I'm going with Smarties.
Okay. All right.
Classic. You can have one now. Your hands don't get dirty. You can go back and get another one later. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're easy.
How do you visualize me eating Sour Patch Kids?
You retwist them. They're good. I don't know.
Of like smearing them into my fingernails.
You're sucking on your fingers as you. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I will say the nostalgia factor for Smarties, like even though the chocolate always won when we get back from trick-or-treating, the Smarties were kind of a close second for me. That I really enjoyed them. But the newer version of myself, the Sour Patch Kids, are pretty fantastic. I'm going to have to go Sour Patch Kids.
Have you guys had sour... Well, you haven't. Have you, Tim, ever had Sour Patch watermelons?
No, I haven't had that, but that sounds pretty
it's
good.
It's a watermelon gummy.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Nice.
A little bit of an upset there. The 6 taking out the 3.
Sour Patch Kids, the new taking out the old.
I mean, Smarties at number 3 seed sounds like a misplacement in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're kind of getting to equal footing. We're at the 4 and 5 seed. We've got 4 with the Starbursts, and then 5 with Swedish Fish.
Wow, that's hard.
I'm gonna go first on this and let you two fight it out. When I was in high school, I lived on Swedish Fish. Like, I'd go to before soccer practice, I'd buy a bag of Swedish Fish, eat them all during the course of the practice. Coming home, I'd be out by the next morning and refill. Yeah, I loved the Swedish Fish, so I'm gonna have to go with the number 5 seed, Swedish Fish.
I mean, okay, so Starbursts have a special place in my heart because I'm thinking of all these random times where I'd be like sitting in school, like on whatever day that like we all got a bunch of candy. It probably would have been Valentine's Day because we didn't celebrate Halloween at my school.
That's right.
And I would like unwrap a bunch of Starbursts and smush them together and basically turn them into like some sort of edible modeling clay.
So this comes back to Greg's earlier question about imagining you eating Sour Patch Kids and it not being a clean process.
That's valid.
It's
the
come
whole
around.
chocolate M&M thing got me thinking.
Maybe I eat stuff like a weirdo. Maybe I do. I'm open to that. So Starbursts were like a modeling clay for me as a kid, but I didn't love them. Swedish Fish was where it was at.
All right, so the decision's already been made. I will say that Starbursts are fantastic. I love Starburst, except when you buy them, they'd have like that awful orange, and then they'd have the yellow. They would like just throw them away, like they were horrible. Mm-hmm. Now they have the Fave Reds, Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just all the flavors red of the different wild cherry
and strawberry.
Oh my gosh, that is really really good. I would have gone with Starburst if it was the Fave Red pack. But I mean, Swedish Fish.
Swedish Fish.
I mean, it's Swedish Fish.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Starburst, I felt like I had my like hierarchy of like goodness, which has translated to like how I eat dessert as an adult, where I would eat the yellow, I'd eat the orange, saving the pink and the red for the end as like the finish.
Yeah.
So when I eat dessert, I'll do this thing where I'll be like, well, this has like a lot of crust on it. So I'll eat the dessert in reverse to get to the center wedge, which is like the best part of the pie or whatever.
This is like the marshmallow test. Have you heard about that? So scientists did this marshmallow test with young children, like preschool aged, and they had the kids sit in an empty room and put a marshmallow in front of them and said, I'm going to leave the room for X amount of minutes. When I come back, if you have not eaten the marshmallow, I will give you a second one. Like, you can eat the marshmallow if you want, but you'll get two if you can delay gratification.
Right.
And so the study got all sorts of press because it basically kind of got blown up to the point where like the kids that ate the marshmallow were just not going to amount to much in life, and the kids that waited for for that second marshmallow, they all became presidents or something.
So by the age of 4, like they knew who was going to be a derelict and who.
Yeah.
You have no future. Out of my house.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go test my kids right now. All right, so now we're on to our last first round bracket here in the Candy Division West, and we've got the number 2 seed Skittles going up against the number 7 seed Jolly Rancher. Well, who wants to go first? Fire, take the first shot.
This is a game of losers for me. I'm not into either of those. I'll eat them occasionally, but I will not feel good about it. Jolly Ranchers always have a couple air bubbles trapped in them that lacerate my tongue. It happens. And Skittles, I don't know if it's just me, but Skittles make me super phlegmy. Like, you'll eat, I don't know, more than a few, and then it's just like, I don't know. So I'm not into Skittles. But I do have to pick a winner.
Yeah, you have to pick a winner.
I mean, I'd rather have phlegm than lacerated tongue, so I'm going to go with Skittles.
I'm gonna go and say that I do not like Skittles at all. I don't eat Skittles. They're gross. I don't eat them anymore, but I do like Jolly Ranchers, but they stick to my teeth, and being an old man, like I don't like that feeling. But I would go with Jolly Rancher as a kid. Yeah. So tiebreaker there, Tim.
I'm gonna go with the Skittles. I feel like I ate them sort of in the same way that I ate Starburst, of like worst first, finish with the good ones, the red and the I guess the purple maybe. Jolly Ranchers, I just feel like they were just kind of like middle of the road, just like hard candy. They could have been any other hard candy. There was nothing particularly special about them. So yeah.
When I remember Jolly Ranchers being sold in these bars like Airheads are.
Yeah.
And I like them way more in that way. Because then you could like hold it and lick it, and like it was like a lollipop basically, and it lasted freaking forever.
I forgot. It's like a
But like there was no stick. It was just a wrapper. It was identical to an Airhead. I imagine if I had my eyes closed, I probably couldn't tell the difference between a Jolly Rancher and an Airhead without squeezing it, because it was about the same size. Yeah. Although, speaking of candies that would last forever, I do not see Sugar Daddies. Did you ever get Sugar Daddies? Those.
I do.
Oh my God.
They were good.
I loved them.
They were really good. Oh. Yeah.
And they would last a week. I mean, I would like wrap that thing and put it in the fridge and come back to it and come back to it and come back to it.
Did you like Bit of Honey?
They were okay, but they didn't throw me the way Sugar Daddies did.
Yeah. I liked the Bit of Honey. I don't know if that's on our list.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
But we'll have to take a trip to the Cracker Barrel, because I'm sure they have all of these things
Bit of
that
Honey,
didn't make the list.
Totally would be there. Along with circus peanuts.
No, real quick, going back to the Jolly Rancher, they make candy cane Jolly Ranchers now.
Oh.
And they are fantastic because they've got all the flavor of the Jolly Rancher, but not that hard candiness to them, that, you know what I mean? So if you ever see them, they're really good.
Okay, speaking of candy, like in the truest sense, like thinking of candy cane. For a while there, got really, really into watching candy making videos on YouTube.
Nice.
Like there's this candy making shop in Montreal. I forget their name, but it was in French, so I'd butcher it anyway. But they have this big hook on the wall, and it's like pulling taffy, but in this case it was not taffy. It was some other type of.
I think I've seen that video.
Likewise.
It was so much fun to watch.
It was mesmerizing, right?
It was mesmerizing. And they would make these little candies almost like those Fimo clay beads, like where they would make images, and they'd have this long rod, and then just like chop them.
I swear to God, I've seen that video.
Same
so
video.
Cool.
I've watched it 3 times. But even how it starts, it's like sort of that like clear golden color.
Yes.
And then the more that they do the whole process, it turns white, and you're like, how did
it's
that
amazing.
happen?
It is amazing what the stuff they do.
Yeah. But I just think like it's fun to watch, and it seems like, wow, that'd be like, how much fun would that be if that was your job? But then I think like after 30 years of doing that, you're just like, oh my God, the candy again and the chopping, and it's got to get a little monotonous after a while. But
it'd be cool if there was some option between never doing it and doing it for 30 years.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, like a weekend.
Yeah. Give me a weekend candy making experience.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah, for $1,000 you can do it, no problem.
I made caramel from scratch like a week ago with Micah because it was just he and I on a Friday night. I'm like, what do you want to do tonight? He's like, I want to make caramel. I'm like, okay. It was way easier than I thought.
Yeah.
It's like a cup of sugar. You heat it up until it melts. You add a couple tablespoons of butter. Keep stirring it. Add some heavy cream.
Really?
Let it boil for like a minute and then take it off the heat. It's like not hard.
So I could throw like some sea salt in there, and
you could
that sea salt caramel.
You could. This is true.
Now, I'll say I made caramel sauce a couple years ago, and it was the kind of thing where I would like read the recipe. It's like put sugar in a hot pan and stir. And I'm literally stirring and I'm like, this is never going to turn into anything. And then there's like that point.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, it's turning into a liquid. It's caramel. Like, cool. For the longest time, you're like, this is not good. I've been led down a path. This is just, I'm going to stand here for the rest of my life stirring granules of sugar.
I didn't believe it until it happened.
Yeah.
And then,
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
When I was a kid, I tried to make Werther's Originals. They were my favorite hard candy. If they would win, they would sweep this bracket.
That's the grandma bracket. That's
yeah. Me and all the grandmas would advocate for the Werther's Originals. But I read the ingredient list, and it was just like white sugar, brown sugar, and butter or something like that. So I just like mixed these 3 ingredients up on the skillet and turned it on high, and then just... like I don't know if I walked away or not, or maybe I just wasn't being super vigilant, but there was this black tar crusted to my mother's skillet. Set off the smoke alarm. Dad came home from work like in the middle of all of it. I thought I was going to get in a bunch of trouble, and my dad was just like very bemused by the whole thing. And he spent probably 15 minutes like chipping the broken like candy off of the skillet and then eating it. It was black. It was not attractive. It was not a successful experiment. I was just thankful I was not getting in trouble. So.
Yeah. Interesting.
That was the beginning of my candy making career.
But not the end.
But not the end. It's not over yet.
Yeah. I actually love the Instagram reels where it's like somebody has the pan that's been ruined. And they're like, well, if you just mix up this, and this, and put it 5 seconds later, just wipe it off with a towel. And I'm like, oh, send that to myself. I'll never watch it.
No. Should we finish the East-West?
Sure. Let's get our winner, and then we can bounce over. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll go to round 2. Are we in this?
Round
2, right? The next round.
Yeah.
We'll go back over to the chocolate side.
All right.
And here we have the favorite, right? Reese's against the upstart Butterfinger, who had knocked off Snickers. Does Butterfinger have another upset in it? Butterfinger or Reese's?
Oh, I'm seeing some frowns from our special guest. I think Reese's is
Butterfinger could not hold Reese's dirty socks. Wow. Okay, this is not a competition.
Well, just for the sake of fun, I'm going Butterfinger, Greg.
Oh no, you're gonna put me on the spot. I mean, Butterfinger is so good. And Reese's.
Are they really?
I can't knock off Reese's. I mean, a peanut butter pumpkin or the Christmas, they put it in all shapes now.
Well, even the Easter eggs, the yellow packaging with the egg. Yeah.
And the vampire literally ate the peanut butter first.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm going to go with Reese's. I like the upset. I'm always, I'm an underdog kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I got to go Reese's. Got to follow my heart.
Yeah.
All right, so bouncing down to the lower bracket, we've got the Milky Way and the Almond Joy.
Oh, this is
gonna
so
be tough.
hard.
This is Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna go just because it was always at the top of the list for me. I got to stick with Milky Way.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go, and I'm going to say Almond Joy.
Oh,
Adam. And I'm going to put Adam on the spot because really what I do, you're talking about eating. I'll join in you on the weird eating facts, Adam. When I get an Almond Joy, I bite off the top of it with the almond and the top chocolate, and then I eat that, and then I eat that on the other one, the almond off of the other one, and then I just have the coconut. With the milk chocolate.
So it's more like a Mounds at that point.
But Mounds is dark chocolate.
That's true.
And I not that I don't mind dark chocolate every once in a while. I like the milk chocolate with the coconut. So that's.
So are you eating your favorite part first or your favorite part last?
Last. Okay. So all I'm getting.
So you're passing the marshmallow test.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, as much as I love Almond Joys, though, like I said, Milky Way is probably my favorite candy bar, particularly Milky Way Midnight.
Wow. So, I'm out of here. See you guys. I can't be your friends anymore.
You're so good.
All right. So Milky Way, the number 5 seed, takes out Almond Joy.
Do we just want to get to our winner in the chocolate, and then we'll do the same on the other side, or you want to come back?
I said we go to the other side.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so we're gonna have Nerds up against Sour Patch Kids. Anyone want to?
I'll go first because I don't like Sour Patch Kids at all. So it's and I love Nerds. So can I get 2 votes for Nerds?
Sure. I'm gonna keep it interesting again, and I'll go Sour Patch Kids and see what Adam wants to. Yeah. Although I know where he's going on this.
I did not have an opportunity to talk about that fact that I do actually like Nerds, even though I do prefer candy corn. Because Nerds aren't decorative and they're not functional, but they are delicious. But ultimately, though, Sour Patch Kids still have my heart. So yeah, I'm going Sour Patch.
All
the
right,
number 6 seed knocking off the number 1 seed. Oh, man, Vegas is
Can't
hurt.
You see, this is a land of confusion.
Nice. All right, and now we've got our Swedish Fish going up against the Skittles. Skittles and Swedish Fish. Gentlemen?
I know where me and Tim are going to land on this. Tim and his long-standing love affair with Swedish Fish, and me and my lack of interest in Skittles. Swedish Fish is going to carry this
Swedish Fish?
Yeah, it does seem like this might be a sweep right here. I don't know. What do you say?
Yeah, I hate Skittles too. So.
Right. Sorry, Skittles. See you next year. All right, so if we come back around to the chocolate side of the bracket, we've got Reese's up against Milky Way. I feel like this might be a twist on what we've done in the past, but what if all three of us say our preference at the same time? So there's no playing off of whatever.
Yeah.
It could get a little difficult to determine, but
we could write it down and reveal it.
Yeah.
Which is great for an audio podcast. All right, we'll just stick with what
No. I like it.
You like it?
We need to manufacture some drama.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So I'll do a countdown.
I got to decide.
I know. Yeah.
Give me a minute.
I need a moment.
I feel like something matters here.
This is really hard.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. So we've got the peanut and chocolate up against the caramel nougat and chocolate.
Okay.
We're going to stick with the traditional milk chocolate on both. No dark chocolate later. They brought in new versions of everything.
Yeah, just
played
basics.
with the recipes.
Just basics.
Going basic.
Okay, all right. Not frozen.
Straight out of what you said you were around 15 when you snuck out. So we're going to say
straight
right around 1998.
All right.
All right. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1, and then we're all going to say it. All right.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
So 3, 2, 1, and then say.
Yes. 3,
Wait,
2,
on 1?
1. And after I say 1, then we're all going to say it. All right.
All right.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Reese's.
Milky Way. Oh,
we went.
So I'm learning things about Adam today.
Yeah.
That's me for listeners who don't know my name. Between the two, I like Reese's better than Milky Way, but I don't think I fully appreciated it until I was guided through this exhaustive process.
All right, so now we got to get to the candy side. We basically got two gummy, which Greg has already said not a fan of gummies, so this is going to be interesting. Sour Patch versus Swedish Fish. Do we need some time to ponder? Do I need to describe what they are?
I mean, Greg just hates this whole situation.
Yeah, I'm very unhappy here, but there's still I do like an option.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Swedish Fish. The Swedes take it.
All right. So just to clarify, Adam, you did say Sour Patch, right?
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
All right. But alas, Greg and I both went Swedish Fish, so it's an interesting matchup for the finale.
Yeah,
here.
I think we should wait on this, right? We're going to leave this because we got to get our Final Four together.
I got you. Final Four, right?
There you go. So we'll pause here
Okay.
and come back.
All right. Sounds good.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Because the winner of the chocolate should go against the winner of the other chocolate.
True.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Because Swedish Fish versus Reese's feels...
It doesn't make sense.
Like,
yeah.
It feels like a whale versus a T-Rex or something. Where do they fight? Some sort of aquarium.
So before we wrap up the episode, I guess we have to do that.
D&D phrase of the week.
That's right.
This week's D&D phrase of the week, not word, phrase, is
scimitar.
That's what he said.
And that's a wrap.
Can't get enough Latch-Key Dad content? Well, check out latchkeydads.com.
That's right, Greg. On our website, we've got a plethora of photos from each episode, as well as other interesting links to content that we talk about on the show.
Yeah, Tim, I really enjoy all the pictures that you put up there as they really bring the episode home.
Yeah, I guess I'm not afraid to show those embarrassing photos of my childhood. So, yeah, we encourage you to check out the website, latchkeydads.com, for all that content.
Excellent. And if you have a moment, check out our shop page where we've got really cool keychains for sale. If you don't know what to get your dad for Christmas, the holidays, Father's Day, birthday, check it out. It's a cool gift. Tim, did you know that listeners should like, review, and subscribe to the Latch-Key Dads podcast?
No. But now I know.
No,
Knowing is half the battle.